Hello students, this is Obhijit Shah from SNCS. So we already completed one chapter, first chapter, and you have the another chapter, chapter 5, okay, in your syllabus. And the chapter 5 is regarding the early Vedic period, okay. So the Indus Valley civilization, which flourished between 3300 BC to 1500 BC, okay, this is the time when Indus Valley civilization flourished or developed, okay, ended around 1700 BC, and the decline of the Indus Valley civilization was followed by advent of the Aryans. So decline of the Indus Valley civilization was followed by the advent of the Aryans and into the Indian subcontinent from Central Asia. So Aryans, they come into the Central Asia and they settle there, and the word Aryans is derived from the Sanskrit word Arya. It is come from the Sanskrit word Arya, which means a noble or respected person. Arya means respected person. The Aryans were Indo-European tribes who migrated to the Indian subcontinent and most probably from Central Asia or Iran, looking from pastures, and they came to India through the Hindu Kush mountain and were subsequently referred to as Indo-Aryans. They came into conflict with the indigenous people, and when they came, then they actually do some conflict with the indigenous people, that means the native people, and whom they refer to as Dasas or Dasyas, okay. And the Indo-Aryans initially settled in the Sapta Sindhu. They settled in the side of seven river and they are called as Sapta Sindhu, okay. And between in the time 1500 BC and 1000 BC, they named this land the Brahmavarta, okay, they named as Brahmavarta, and which means the abode of gods, okay. He mentioned the land as a abode of gods, and this period is known as early Vedic period. It is called as, this time is called as early Vedic period, and there have the another time which is called as later Vedic period, okay. So first one is the early Vedic period. Gradually the Aryans spread from the Sapta Sindhu region to the plains and valleys of the river Ganga. So they actually scattered from this Sapta Sindhu region day by day, and they named this region as a Aryavarta, and which means the land of the Aryans, and they told after some time as Aryavarta, that means the land of the Aryans. And this period from 1000 BC to 600 BC is known as the later Vedic period. And so after this time from 1000 BC to 600 BC, it is known as later Vedic period. It was through the four Vedas developed by the Aryans that we came to know about their culture and lifestyle, okay. So it was through the four Vedas. There have four Vedas developed by the Aryans. So Aryan develops four Vedas, okay, Veds into four parts, and we can know about their culture and lifestyle from this Vedas, and hence this period is known as Vedic period. And because they created the Vedas in that time, and that's what this time is called as Vedic period. So Vedic literature. Vedic literature was the gateway to the knowledge of the Vedic civilization, okay. So Vedic literature is the gateway. We can, if we can able to enter in this Vedic literature, then we can able to collect the information regarding Vedic civilization. And it comprised the four Vedas, and there was four Vedas: Brahmanas, Aranyaks, Upanishads and Puranas, okay. And the two great epics, and there also have two epics, Ramayana and Mahabharata. They are written in verses as and in Sanskrit language. At first they are written in a Sanskrit language and the spoken tongue of the Aryans, and the Aryans, they use basically Sanskrit language. This was the spoken tongue, okay. So next is four Vedas. The word Veda originates from the Sanskrit word Ved. So Veda come from the term Ved, meaning knowledge, okay. Ved means knowledge. The four Vedas are, first one is the Rig Veda. So here actually think that it comprised the four Vedas, the Brahmanas. These are not that Vedas also was there, and beside from Vedas there was the information regarding Brahmanas, Aranyaks, Upanishad, Puranas and Ramayana and Mahabharata, okay. And the Rig Veda is the oldest of the four Vedas, and it was composed in the early Vedic period. The Rig Veda consists of hymns called the Suktas, meaning well said. Okay, so Rig Veda is the oldest of 4 Vedas. At first Rig Veda is created. Okay, and it was composed in the early Vedic period. Most of these hymns are prayers offered to Agni. So these are prayer to the for the Agni, the god of fire. Okay, and the Indra, the warrior god of Soma, and a plant from which a special drink was prepared. Okay, so this was the things. Okay, and there the second one was the Shambed, and the Shambed is a collection of verses from the Rig Veda for liturgical purposes. It is the collection of verses from the Rig Veda. Okay, for what that liturgical purposes. And Jajurveda consists of sacrificial formulas in prose and verses. So this is consists of sacrificial formulae. There was some formulae, okay, for various things. And Atharva Veda mainly contains magical charms and invocations. So there was the information regarding the magical charms. Okay, the Vedas were transmitted orally from one generation to next, and it was only many countries later that the Vedas were written down. The 4 Vedas were composed in different periods, and while the Rig Veda was composed in early Vedic age, the other Vedas were composed in the later Vedic age, and it is for this reason that the early Vedic age is also known as Rig Vedic age. So early Vedic age, in that time Rig Vedis originated, and that's what it is also called as Rig Vedic age. Okay, the attached to each Veda are several expounding prose texts called Brahmanas, and the concluding portion of the Brahmanas are called Aranyaks, and meaning of forest. Aranyak means the forest books. Okay, and the Upanishads are commentaries attached to the Aranyaks, and they are also referred to the Vedanta, meaning the end of Vedas. Vedanta means the end of the Vedas. So those kinds of information have in the last part of the Vedas, they are called as Vedanta. The Puranas include encyclopedia literature on numerous subjects such as philosophy, theology, cosmology, astronomy, mineralogy, science and medicine, sagas and folk tales of various genres, and the genealogies of deities, kings and heroes. Okay, so Puranas include encyclopedic literature. That means there was the information regarding philosophy, theology, cosmology, astronomy, like this. The prominent epic of Indian literature are the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. So there was also the information regarding Mahabharata and Ramayana, and the Mahabharata was composed by Sage Vyas or Ved Vyas. Okay, and it is legend about the Bharata dynasty. We can able to collect lots of information from the Mahabharata regarding Bharata, and Ramayana is written by says Valmiki. Okay, so Mahabharata is written by Ved Vyas and the Ramayana is written by Valmiki, and it is a chronicle of Lord Rama, and there have the information regarding Ram, the prince of the kingdom of Ajodhya, who was the king of Ajodhya. The Vedic literature is the most important part of the Indians' immensely rich and varied culture. It laid the foundation of the Indian culture and heritage, and it also formed the basis of the literature that was created after the Vedic period. Brahmavarta, or the early Vedic period. Okay, so the reconstruction of the Aryan civilization in India was possible with the help of the Vedic literature and the archaeological excavation. So what was their political life? That according to the Rig Veda, the early Vedic civilization had a well structured and organized political structure. There was well and organized political structure with high effective administrative policies. Okay, political structure. That lowest unit of society in the early Vedic period was the family or the Kula, headed by the Kulapa. Okay, so family or the Kula headed. So family is called Kula headed are called as Kulapa. Family's head is called as Kulapa. And several families together formed a Vish or clan under a Vishpati. And with several families they formed a Vish, and under a Vishpati there was a Vishpati, that means head of Vish. And next was a Grama or a village headed by the Gramini, and the head of the village are called as Gramini. So family set is Kulapa. The Vish, that means some family set are called as Vishpati, and with the head of the villages are Gramini, and many gramas together formed a Rajya or Jana, and they formed the Rajya or Jana, ruled by the king of Rajan, and their head was the Rajan. Okay, the most capable person of the tribe became the Rajan. So the most of the power was under Rajan. In the early Vedic age, the king ruled over a tribe rather than a territory, and wars were fought between tribes not for territory but for the cattle, which was the real wealth of the time. Next is administration. The Rajan was chosen by the people based on his strength. Okay, so Rajan is selected by the people, and he ruled over a tribe rather than a territory, and he ruled basically over the tribe, and he was the protector of his tribe and was treated as a spiritual being. He was assisted by various officials, including there was some assistants or the officers, that Purohit or and the Senani. The Purohit was responsible for all the religious deities. So Purohits handle all the religious deities, duties and ceremonies, and while the Senani was the military commander in chief. Senani means the head of the military persons. The king did not have absolute power, and he was controlled by several tribal or kin-based assemblies like Shava, Shamiti and Bidartha. And the Shava was a small assembly of a few important members, while the Shamiti was a big assembly. Shava was a small assembly, and Shamiti was a big assembly, and where the entire tribe could be given their opinion on the matter of state. And women also participated in these assemblies, and where assembly or meeting is organized, in that time women also participated. Next is social life. Despite a political hierarchy, social life in early Vedic civilization was fairly egalitarian. Okay, and family life, that the family or kul, family was called as kul, and in the early Vedic period was patriarchal, that means the head was the father or men, and with the eldest living male as the head of the family. So head of the family was the eldest living male, and they believed in a joint family system, where the head was the authoritative figure, and he decided was indisputable and was respected by all the members of the family. So everything is decided by the eldest living male, and there was a joining family. All the people, they gathered and they actually stay in a same house. And position of women. What was the position of women? That women in the early Vedic age enjoyed a respectable and prominent role in the society, and they could get educated. Important female scholars of this age are Gargi, Lopamudra, Ghosala, Moitri. There was the important literate female person, and they composed many hymns of the Rig Veda. So they composed various hymns. Women could choose their husbands through a grand ceremony called Swayamvara. Okay, Swayamvar Sabha is held, and in that time women selected the their respective husbands. And if a husband died or went missing, his wife could remarry. They can remarry if husband died. And child marriage was not practice. There was no child marriage practice. Okay. Next is class system. The society in the early Vedic period was divided into 4 varnas or classes based on the occupation of the people. According to their occupation, the society was divided into 4 classes. Okay, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Okay, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. The 4 main varnas were the Brahmanas were the educated priests who performed all religious ritual and rites. They were also teachers and educators. So Brahmana was the head of all the classes, and they was highly educated, and they do all the religious rituals practices. Kshatriyas were rulers and warriors of the tribe, and who were in service to the Rajan and protected the tribe. They was the rulers and warriors. And Vaishyas were the trader, merchant, farmers and artisans. They was the traders, merchants, farmers and artisans. And Shudras were the daily laborers who formed the servant class. They are nominated as a servant class and performed menial task. So they actually do all the activities those are given by the upper three classes. In the early Vedic age, the occupation based division of society was not rigid. A person's class was not decided by his parentage but by his occupation, and people could change their occupation and their burner. So according to or with their activity, anyone can change the burner. That anyone person from the Shudra, they with their priest activity they can join with the Brahmanas. Okay, so that people could change their occupation and their varna, and for example the weaver's son could become a warrior, okay, and a vice versa, and people were free to choose the occupation of their liking, and they can choose the occupation as they like. And as the later Vedic period started, this class system became severely rigid and hereditary. Okay, so later Vedic period, in the time of later Vedic period, this was not situated as the same way. There was the class system and they cannot change, and hereditary they are selected. Next is houses. Unlike other ancient civilizations, the early Vedic Aryans did not live in brick houses, okay, and they use timber, bamboo and thatches to build circular or rectangular huts. The main reason for this was that timber and bamboo shoots were easily available from nearby forest, so they can easily collect the timber and bamboo. That's what they made their home with, timber and bamboo, okay, and also they were easier to rebuild in case the floods or rain, or they can rebuild their house after the flood. Food. The Aryans believed in a balanced diet for a healthy life. They ate simple, nutritious food. Most of the food was cultivated by them, and wheat, barley and rice along the pulses like musur, arhar, peas and kulatha, horse grains along the masa or maize, which is called as maize, formed a major part of food in Vedic society. And they also consumed milk, products, spices and variety of fruits and vegetables. Somras and shura were the popular drink of the early Vedic period. Okay, next one is dress. Like their food, the dressing of the Aryans was also simple, and sari for females, sari used by females and dhoti for males was the common attire. A light shawl covered the upper body. The commoners were plain cotton garbs, while the rich were beautifully embroidered garments. Okay, there was the variation with respect to poor and the richer family, and gold, silver and precious stones were used to make jewelry, and they also used gold and silver as a jewelry. Okay, and there have a variation of clothes that the lower class people they use only the cotton garbs, and in the where the richer family they use the embroidered garments. Next is entertainment. The primary source of entertainment for the Aryans was dancing, drama, hunting, chariot racing. This was the entertainer activity, and they also enjoyed board games, gambling and music. And the Vedic people played Veena, Shat, Tantu and Dhamru, Mridanga, Kimbal and conches. Okay, this was the musical instruments. Okay, religious beliefs. The early Vedic people worshipped forces of nature as god and goddesses, and they performed various ritual offering and yajanas to appease them, and these yajanas were only performed by the Brahmans of the tribe. Okay, so yajanas are done by Brahmanas only, and Indra, the god of rain and thunder, and Agni, the god of fire, were the two principal deities of the civilization. Okay, and other god worshipped by the people include Surya, and there was some other god, Surya, the sun, the Prithvi, that means the earth, the Vayu, that means the wind. They are also the goddess, and they are worshipped by the men. And there were some women divinities too, and such as Aditi and Usha. And women divinities was Aditi and Usha. The god of death, Yama, was Jam, Okay, the god of death was Jam, was also worshipped and appeased by the people. Next is economic life. The people in the early Vedic age were primarily pastoralist and agriculturist. That means they were familiar with agriculture activity, but they were also engaged in other occupation, and some people also engaged with other some activities. Agriculture was an important occupation for the early Vedic Aryans, and the plough is mentioned in the earliest part of the Rig Veda. Okay, so plough is mentioned in the earliest part of the Rig Veda, and the Aryans were acquainted with sowing, harvesting and threshing. They also acquainted with these kinds of activities, and the main crops cultivated were barley, wheat, cotton, pulses and oil seeds. And rice cultivation was rare. Rice cultivation was very rare in their place, and villages were self-sufficient, and villagers, they was self-sufficient with their agricultural activity. Next is domestication of animals. Early Indo-Aryans also participated domestication of animals. They can habituate with domestication of animals. And cow was referred to as a sacred mother, and cow was referred with the Aryans or as a sacred mother, and in the Rig Veda. And the cattle was the symbol of wealth. Cattle was symbol of wealth and prosperity of a family, and it was also a medium of exchange at times. And apart from cows, they also domesticated horses. Horses, oxen, dogs, goats, sheep, buffalo and donkey. These kinds of animals they able to domesticate it. Art and craft. The early Indo-Aryans were skilled in metal work and pottery, and the Rig Veda mentioned artisans such as the carpenters, chariot maker, weavers, leather workers and potters. And traders traded with distant land, and traders also there, they actually do the trading activity with the farthest lands. And barter system was the principal mean of exchange in this period. And barter system, that means exchanging system was there. Okay, and this was the popular.